Welcome back to Wall Again, where passion meets music, and we have another needle drop session. Really enjoying these ones, guys. And this week we have decided to pick our top three favorite live albums. So we'll jump straight in here, Bobo. What's your number three?
Okay, three. I don't know if you can see it there in this light is Slade on stage. This is a bit of a I'm a bit of a cheat here because so Slade when they came back from America in 76, 77, Punk had happened and they were completely out of line and they did a couple of albums, whatever happened to Slade and Till Death Do Us Part, and they're great rock albums. And this is the tour of that around that period, and uh it's as live as it gets. This would give AC/DC a run for money. The first two tracks, Rock and Roll Preacher and When I'm Dancing, I Ain't Fighting, are as heavy as hell. And what else can I say about it? It's just a brilliant live album. And the reason their audience are like um, football hooligans, basically. It's just a big old sing along. If you've seen the footage of the Oasis live concert, it was like that multiplied by 100, but in smaller venues. The reason that kicked off again, this is where it's a bit of a cheat, is because the Slade live at Reading Festival. So they actually stood in to replace Ozzy, who couldn't make it. And so Reading, was in August, and the audience were singing Merry Christmas to them, and they just went for it. And suddenly they may not have been a huge band again, but they were definitely a crowd pulling band, and that got them right through to about 91.
Wow.
They started touring America again, and then they just, they ran its course. But Slade on stage is one of those albums when people go, "Oh, yeah, Slade, he." I drop the needle, and people just go, "What the hell is that?" It would just take your head off. So that's my number three.
Class.
Definitely listening to that tomorrow.
Yeah, not very familiar with Slade, to be honest. Is it Mama We're All Crazy Now? Is that them?
Yeah, that was all their hits in the
Yeah.
early 70s, and then they went off to tour America. And when they came back, the glam thing was over. They changed their image, and they just became a rock band. In fact, Ozzy said Slade were his favorite rock band in England after the Beatles.
Wow. High
Wow.
praise indeed. Very cool. Okay, Gav, what's your pick?
All right. Bobo, you've probably seen some of these the other night, and you're probably going to pick at me for this one. But I'm putting this at number three
I
for
won't. I won't. I won't.
that reason. Tin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. And I know, okay, it might have been touched up by the producer, and it probably was. But recently, I think it's just because I've been on the kind of Tin Lizzy train on our own podcast. But I just feel that everything, like you look at the tracks on this album, it's unbelievable. I love that all the live feel, Phil talking to the crowd and the few little kind of cameos and bits and pieces that's well known from the shows as well. Fantastic. Um, the original, well, the best lineup for me as well. But the tracks like Jailbreak Emerald, Southbound, Rosalie, Dancing in the Moonlight, Massacre, Still in Love with You, Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed, Cowboy Song, Boys Are Back in Town, Don't Believe a Word, Warriors, Are You Ready, Suicide, and then you have Shalala, Baby Drives Me Crazy, and it finishes with the Rocker. Like it's all hits. It's all hits. Brilliant. I never get sick of listening to it, so that's my number three. And the reason it's number
And
three,
isn't it one of the greatest album covers ever?
isn't it?
I
Yeah,
Yeah,
mean, what an album cover!
yeah, yeah.
amazing. You can't
Go-
see Downey in the background. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes you can see too much actually.
yeah, it's a great album. It's phenomenal, and yeah, like I think within Lizzie there, like their studio albums, production wise, certainly up until they joined up with Tony Visconti, the production was was sparse and probably didn't capture them as a live band. But this album really captures them as a live band, and I think it's probably the most popular album, to be honest, among rock fans.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great one.
I'll even say something controversial and say it's the only Tin Lizzy album you really need.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I know you.
controversial.
Yeah, and yeah. No, I'll just say one thing about Visconti as well. He done Bad Reputation, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm reviewing that next, just as a quick thing. And yes, the production's great on it. I don't think it's a great album.
Yeah, I think a
Liz,
lineup change. If you lose one of an embedded guitar team, it can really have an effect on the album.
I just think there's just a bit too much filler on it. For me, that's just me. I I
yeah.
I, I don't think it's as good as some of the other ones. Production wise, is way better, of course, but I just think there's a lot of mediocre songs. But leave it at that. That's for
I
another
think
day.
we'll put that on the shelf because that'd be a great discussion for
Yeah.
another one. Okay, I'm going to come in with my number three then. And I didn't pick Live and Dangerous because I thought we weren't picking it, but then you picked it. So look, it's fine. I've picked my three and I'm sticking with my three. And yeah, my three are all 100% live. Okay, so warts and all. But coming at number three, it's Jimi Hendrix, Woodstock. Live at Woodstock. Um, yeah, like Woodstock was the first music festival that mattered. 1969 was the end of the 60s, and like it's just spoken about as one of those not even just a music event, like a cultural event. It was the end of the 60s, peace and love and all that. And some of the artists that played on the Woodstock bill were like absolutely phenomenal. And like they couldn't even get the Doors weren't there, Bob Dylan wasn't there, but like they still had an amazing cast of musicians at the time, like Santana and Jimi Hendrix, of course, headlined. So he was meant to be the last act on Sunday night. But because the weekend got so messed up with, everybody out of their head, including, I'd say, the organizers and engineers and everybody, everything was pushed on. And Jimmy actually didn't end up coming on until the morning, the Monday morning. I think it was like 7 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And people were packing up their tents and they were making their way home. And Jimmy's playing to like half a field. It's like most people had gone by the time he came on. So very, very strange. But it's just class. It's raw. It's warts and all. He's here with a different kind of a lineup. It's not the Jimi Hendrix experience with Mitch Mitchell and Noel Redding. He keeps Mitch Mitchell on drums, but he's got like Billy Cox and a whole other host of musicians on stage with him. But like they rattle through all the classic Hendrix stuff. You've got Red House, Foxy Lady, Fire, Voodoo Child, Purple Haze, Hey Joe, and of course the classic rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which is it's otherworldly. And you see now like bands like Metallica and other bands replicating this at the start of like football matches and sports events. So just yeah, a massive cultural event, and Jimmy absolutely on fire on this one. And I think it's an amazing record in history and a great live concert.
Yeah, good shout.
I agree completely.
Deadly. Okay, what's your number three, Bobo?
All right, I just want to throw in a few honorable mentions quickly because picking a live album was hard. I could have went for the Who live in Leeds, Humble Pie, Rockin' the Fillmore. There's loads. The top two I picked, they're interchangeable. So I'm going to go with the MC5 Kick Out the Jams, their debut album from 1969. So that makes this 56 years old. And I'd put it up against any live album. It absolutely massacres everything in its path. I mean, everything. It's just like punk before it invented, and rock and free jazz and political activism all mixed up, and the crowd are just on fire as well. I mean, most people know Kick Out the Jams on it, but it's just like a performance. And the Grande Ballroom, which was the most famous place, say in Detroit, would be the equivalent of the Fillmore East and the Fillmore West. It was just, it's they never topped it. I mean, their two studio albums that came after were great, and they had, Kick Out the Jams, Motherfucker was it banned the record for just that one swear word, and they actually paraded up naked up and outside Tower Records, I think it was, and the label just lost it. They just said we wanted to observe the revolution, we didn't want to be part of it. But yeah, an amazing record. And just as a little sideline, when they got signed, they also suggested Iggy and the Stooges got signed. So Danny Elfman signed both of them in the same day, and then went on to sign the Ramones. And for that alone, I love them. But this album, I bought it when I was 16, and this is about my 10th copy because I keep giving it away to people, saying you need to hear this album. But yeah, brilliant. MC5, Kick Out the Jams. the most ferocious live album ever, except for the next one.
Class.
Love the passion, Bobo.
All right, Gav, what's your number two?
Yeah, similar to Bobo, this could be either way for me as well. I only kind of, yeah, because I had them in my own collection, definitely influenced my pick as well. Who will I go for number two? Right, I'll go this way.
Flip
uh,
a coin.
Leonard Skinner's.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a
great
great one.
album.
Yeah, one
Great
more
one.
on the road. I got this album randomly. Bobo, I probably told you this story the other night. I went to a record shop in Letterkenny and walked in and was just pooching around. And the guy I got to know, he's like, Gavin, you should check this out. You like this. And he put it on. And I'm like, oh yeah, Leonard Skinner. I know the hits. I don't really know the deep cuts. And I hung around the shop for maybe 10, 20 minutes. I'm like, what's that? What's that? What's that? And I'm like, you know what? Sold. Give me it. He goes, to tell you what, I'll give it to you for like 20, I think €20, €25 or something. I took it home, I put it straight on again, and it is a flawless live album. It's so good, like hit after hit after hit. The passion, the power, the guitars, it's unbelievable. And it was so random as well for me because it was something that I wasn't looking for, and it kind of just found me. The artwork and everything in it is class as well. But like the lineup, well, let's go through the tracks. Working for MCA, I Ain't the One, Searching, Tuesday's Gone, Saturday Night Special, Traveling Man, Whiskey Rock and Roller, Sweet Home Alabama, Gimme Three Steps, Call the Breeze, Tea for Texas, The Needle and the Spoon, Crossroads and Freeport. Like, there's absolutely just hit after hit after hit. Ronnie Van Zant, Alan Collins, Gary Rossington, Billy Powell, Leon Wilkinson, Artemis Pyle, who's unbelievable on this album. The drums are fantastic, and Steve Gaines. I think this album was the first one that Steve Gaines performed on when he joined the band. I think this is the first one. I think they mentioned it in the album. I think he was from Oklahoma, and I believe wasn't it him and his sister that passed away in that unfortunate plane crash as well. But if you're looking for something that you haven't listened to in a while, or if you've yet to hear it, this will not disappoint you. It's a fantastic album. I love it. I always throw it on at least once a month, and every time I listen to it, I hear something new. It's brilliant. Brilliant album.
I couldn't agree more. If they had only put that album out with Crossroads and Freeboard, it'd still be in the top
Yeah.
albums ever. And I sent you some footage the other day of
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner playing with the Stones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just said, there's no way the Stones could have followed this. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Even the copy, I think it's a copy that they do, Tea for Texas. I think it was an old song, but their rendition of it is unreal as well. The Needle and the Spoon and a Whiskey Rock and Roller. I remember doing me and Luke did a kind of a dive into it and like just trying to picture what it was like going to them live shows back then. Like you can imagine like a kind of biker bar down in Florida or Tennessee or somewhere, and you can kind of dance to this music as well, where girls were into it, fellas were into it, and I did find some footage of a live show. I think it was in New Jersey or somewhere. Like the shows looked wild, so okay, I could ramble on for a while, but I'll leave it at that. Leonard Skinner, brilliant album.
Yeah, it's a great when you suggested it to me a couple of months back, Gav, when you got it first, and I have to
Yeah.
say I was blown away listening to it.
Yeah.
It's amazing, amazing album. Okay, coming in at number three for me, I have a Rory Gallagher live album. It's not Irish Tour 74. It's not live in Europe, and it's not stage struck. It's nothing from his solo career. It's from The Taste, the band he was in before he went solo.
Brilliant.
What's going on live at the Isle of Wight? I have it here on DVD. And the whole story around this, like obviously this was live at the Isle of Wight. I think it was 1969 as well, 1970, sorry. And obviously Taste were playing this gig, right? I think the Who headlined it, but Taste were playing the gig. They were mid card on the gig, and it was their last ever show, last ever gig that they were going to play as a band. They were going to pack up their instruments, go their separate ways. Rory had already decided what he was going to do next in his career. So they just went out for this one last show. Let's give it our all. And the plan was there was a guy there recording the acts, and he was meant to record like just one song from each act, and then I think he was going to record the whole set from the Who. so he stuck the camera on and he recorded the first song, or it mightn't have been the first song, but the first song he was going to record for that day of Taste, shall we say. And he just left the camera rolling. And we end up getting about a half an hour of footage. And lucky we have it because it was a spectacular performance. Like it wasn't planned. And it being their last show, you'd think they'd be down in the dumps. Not at all. They really bring it. All three members are absolutely in fine form on this one. It's got What's Going On it, obviously. It's got Sinner Boy. It's got Sugar Mama, Morning Sun, Gambling Blues, Same Old Story, and Catfish, all from that particular concert. Like they played more songs on the day than that, obviously, but this is all that was captured. Again, the cover is amazing. You just see it from behind the stage there.
Great shot.
You can see Rory sort of behind the drummer, and he's playing his beat up strat there. The drummer with an absolutely tiny kit, and
Yeah.
then the bassist is off to the side there, and you just look at that crowd. I don't know what like, was there 80, 90, 100,000 people there, but yeah, Isle of Wight, Taste at the Isle of Wight, 1970, an absolutely brilliant performance and great captured live. And I think the live concerts from these like late 1960s, early 1970s, there's just something raw and visceral about them. They're not what's the word, planned. Like they're just like raw, energetic, and you're getting the emotion of the day is really captured on these albums, and that's what I love about these ones. So there you go. Taste, Isle of Wight, 1970.
I- I'd say that year as well. There's also footage of Free playing at it, which is phenomenal as well. So that cameraman, thank God he was around because he just let it roll. So it's very little footage of Free anywhere,
Yeah.
and they're on it as well. So I mean, Paul Kossoff is on fire. I'm not comparing him to Rory, but
Uh,
he's just nailing it.
in my opinion, you could definitely compare Paul Kossoff to Rory. He it was a phenomenal guitar player, and I absolutely love Free. Think they're a fantastic band.
I love Free as well. What
Yeah,
a band!
yeah, definitely
Right,
brilliant. Number one, Boa.
my last choice could have been number two as well. This band formed specifically to be the English version of the MC5. It's Motorhead, No Sleep to
Yeah,
Hammersmith. This is a crushing. This is like an extended version. So they had come out with Bomber and Overkill, and they just released Ace of Spades before they went on tour. They're still using
yeah,
the Bomber set. The very first track on this album, what a track to start with, is Ace of Spades,
yeah,
which was just brand new, and it's just a brilliant live album. And it's again totally live. The crowd are into it, and I believe it's the only live album ever to go straight into the charts at number one in the British album charts. Now, when you consider the late 70s and early 80s, you'd have to sell 250,000 albums to get into the top 10. And
yeah,
they went straight to number one. This was the height of Motorhead's fame,
yeah,
and obviously that it did change the course of the career and lineup changes, and they continued to produce great albums, an album a year nearly for the
yeah.
next until they split up. But this will crush anything. I nearly went for Deep Purple Made in Japan, but I think it's too obvious. Everyone knows how great that is. So Motorhead, No Sleep to Hammersmith, the Three Amigos at their absolute power. That's it. That's me. My three done.
It's amazing. That album is amazing. I have it on CD here, and it was definitely in my honorable mentions. It's fantastic, and I love Lemmy's is talking between the songs. He's
Yeah.
there's no you get what you see is what you get with Lemmy.
Mm.
He's not trying to be like a big rock star or trying to be clever or anything. It's just like he just introduces the songs. He's like, this one's for the road crew. Like it's just class.
Brilliant.
I seen Levy being interviewed once, and they asked him, what did Motorhead bring to rock and roll? He said, we didn't bring anything. We stripped it back. We stripped away all the crap and all the rubbish, and we just played rock and roll, and we play it loud.
Yeah,
And that's what he did for his whole life.
Mm.
yeah. Lucky enough to see him twice live, and yeah, amazing,
Yeah, I've seen
amazing.
Motorhead a few times, and they're the only band I've ever wore earplugs to.
Yeah. I think I should have. All right, Gav, what's your number two?
Uh, I went. He did get mentioned already, but yeah, Rory Gallagher, the live '74 tour. It's absolutely brilliant. I think only probably in the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, I really went back. I knew the hits again, similar to Leonard Skinner. I didn't really know the deep stuff, and got into it. Probably from myself and yourselves chat, to be honest, Rob, and
Yeah.
got into it and just fell in love with it, and just really into the blues stuff lately. I was even today. I was listening to, some of the Doors stuff again, and I'm really enjoying the blues music. It's so powerful. It's so personal, very
Yeah.
personal music, and it brings you on a trip. It brings you on a ride, and Rory was fantastic. I think we all know the tracks on this as well. But you know what
Yeah.
I love about this, and Bobo, you touched on it, is the live feel. Like you can hear Rory being introduced, you can hear the crowd, you can hear so much in this album. I know it was recorded in three different venues in Cork and Belfast and Dublin, but yeah, something special about this. And I think the bass player Jerry McAvoy doesn't get enough credit as well. I think he was fantastic in this. And the drummer as well. And then later on, then the keyboard player, Lou Martin, wasn't it? Lou,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lou
brilliant,
Martin, yeah.
brilliant piano and keys, like fantastic. They were just a brilliant band, and they were just high caliber musicians. I had the pleasure of chatting to Jerry as well. Um, but yeah, brilliant album. Again, I'll throw this on once every month, and I always like, oh, didn't hear that time. Or there's always a little piece that you're like, wow, didn't know they put that there. Or there's a couple of mistakes, but
Yeah.
that's live music, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it special. So Rory Gallagher Irish Tour '74.
Yeah, it's a great album. And it's that's basically
Great
Rory
choice.
Gallagher's Live and Dangerous. Like
Yeah.
that album is considered his magnum opus, above all the studio albums that he's done.
Mm.
And it was only released, it was 1974, so it was just after they had released Tattoo in 73.
Oh, they were banging out albums. Like that's one of the things I was talking to Jerry about. I think at one stage there was two albums come out in one year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That wouldn't have been uncommon for them.
Like they were just between like you had the Live in Europe one, you had the
Yeah.
debut. Like, but in them 4 years, I think there was five albums. I'm pretty sure there was. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I think in the 70s, bands generally recorded. It wasn't unusual for two albums to come out in a year. Black Sabbath and Paranoid came out in the same year.
Yeah.
So, they just were pumping them out
Yeah,
and they were on the road. That's why it's such a great live album.
yeah. Like they were on the road. They were all over the place as well. But yeah, great album.
Very good. Okay, coming in at
Imagine,
number one for me. So I remember watching this live video, live concert, whatever you call it, when I was probably about 17 and getting into guitar and learning about all the different bands. And this was just like, okay, this is now the template that I need to look at all bands through. I need to see do they stack up to this level and this band and this performance. And it's Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same from Madison Square Garden, 1973. They had just released Houses of the Holy, so they were touring that album. But like those first five Led Zeppelin albums, like what an amazing catalog to pull on for this concert. It's a great live album, just from an audio point of view, but also from a visual point of view. If you get the movie, it takes you on a journey. They have extended versions of Dazed and Confused, the Rain song. They also have an extended version of Whole Lot of Love, and there's all sorts of different stories. Each of the members of the band have their own little segment where you get to kind of look behind the scenes of their life, and the stuff that they're into, and how they perceive things and how they perceive the music that they're listening to and the music that's been playing. But it's fantastic. It starts off with rock and roll, which I thought was so powerful the first time I saw it. Like Jimmy Page, he's playing lead guitar and electric guitar at the same time, and like there's only one guitar in this band, and live they just sound awesome, amazing, huge. Of course, John Bonham on drums and John Paul Jones on bass as well. What a fantastic rhythm section, arguably the best rhythm section in rock and roll of all time. We've got Black Dog, Since I've Been Loving You, No Quarter, Song Remains the Same, The Rain Song, Dazed and Confused. We have Stairway to Heaven, obviously, Moby Dick, Heartbreaker, Whole Lot of Love, and then it ends with Stairway to Heaven on the end credits. But yeah, it's an amazing live album. I think it's had a massive impact on me when I was just getting into music and just getting into guitar playing, and it's never left me. It's always been at the pinnacle and the best live album in my collection. And yeah, I just think it's amazing.
Good shout.
Good choice.
I was just watching the with my 6-year-old son because he asked me to put it on, which was mental. He says, "Put on Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin." I'm like, "What?" We listened to it like yesterday I was driving him to football or something, and we sat and watched. I think it's from Madison Square Garden, that one that's famous, Stairway to Heaven. Isn't that the one that's really well known?
I think that's probably the most well known one. Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah,
The
he puts his own twist on it.
the,
Yeah,
the solo's extended, yeah.
yeah.
Wouldn't be my favorite version now. I prefer the studio version, but yeah, class. How did your son come across that?
I played it in the van, and he just randomly we were sitting there, and he says, "Dad, put on the Stairway to Heaven song." I'm like, he just amazes me some days. I'm like, what, where did you?
Kevin, your award for parent of the year is in the post.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets it from. Like, and then like, yeah, I said it before. He'll go to bed listening to Tin Lizzy or The Man in the Dirt album.
Yeah, class,
Yeah,
class. Brilliant stuff. Listen, I had fun on that one. I thought that was great. There's some great picks there. I think I knew all of yours anyway, Gav, as I generally do
yeah,
because we're talking so much and we're always sharing music.
yeah.
But
My vinyl collection is not very big, so I like to have something physical. So my
yeah,
pieces are limited. It's growing slowly but surely. It's growing, but yeah,
That's how it starts. It starts slow and then
yeah. I give
it ends up like that.
an
yeah,
honorable mention to I think the MTV Live of Alice in Chains.
yeah, yeah,
And that's great.
So good, so
Yeah.
yeah.
good. And a wee nod to Metallica's S&M, even though it's not my favorite and I'd never really go to listen to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it was cool what they did though. It was different, but I appreciate it, but it's not my favorite. But it was another one that I kind of stood out for me.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
S&M
no, I
was the
almost went
second.
for the Who live in Leeds.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great one. That's a
Yeah.
great one. The Who are amazing. Back in the 70s, yeah. The Metallica one, that was the second Metallica CD I bought after the Black Album, and couldn't wait to get, you know, For Whom the Bell Tolls without an orchestra. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's not really my go-to at all.
yeah, and a lot
Like,
of stuff from Load and Reload on it, and as well, like I was trying to get into the heavy stuff when I was like a teenager, but I bought S&M because I was thinking, look, it's a way for me to get songs from And Justice for All, Master of Puppets, and Ride the Lightning, without having to go buy those albums
yeah.
individually. I
It's not,
bought it as a economy,
yeah.
and I had it for years. And I remember listening to it and like, oh, I wish I could listen to one without an orchestra or,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
know,
do them justice.
Master of Puppets without an orchestra. Like, so eventually then when I had the money together, then I went and bought all those albums. But it never gets listened from. Well, the two songs on it I really like actually, No Leaf Clover and Human. I
Ouch.
love those songs. I think they're
Yeah.
amazing, and the orchestras sound really good on them because I don't know them any other way.
Yeah, well, that's the only way they were. So they were made
Yeah,
for that,
I mean, the influence of that album though is really, I find it quite amusing because then a lot of bands started doing it. The Scorpions did it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the funniest album cover ever. It was like a dinosaur with a tiara and earrings on, but a drawn dinosaur. And
yeah,
it's worth checking out just for the album cover. But lots of bands started to copy it then, which
Yeah.
is Metallica's thing. And they would set the standard and then other people would follow that.
but did
And
Metallica not copy Deep Purple? Was it not Lars copying in Concerto
oh yeah.
for group and
Yeah, in
orchestra?
Concerto's an interesting one, but it doesn't really have any Deep Purple songs on it. John Lord wrote a piece specific for it, and they only agreed to do it because Richie Blackmore said, "Well, the next one we do is my album. We're going to do a rock album,"
In
and then you
rock,
get in rock. I
yeah,
have in
yeah,
Concerto, and it never ever goes on.
yeah,
Even though John Lord is my favorite Deep Purple member, I'm
yeah.
just
He,
like, no.
he was amazing. Brilliant stuff. Okay, I was jotting down a couple of topics for next Monday, guys. So I'll just throw some out there and see what you think, right? So I think might have put this on the group, okay? But the title would be "Great Albums, Terrible Covers." So talking about the front cover.
Yeah, okay. Let me
So
just go and pull about 100 of these things
yeah,
out.
yeah, I have loads. I have loads of them. So yeah, have a little think about that one maybe for
That's
next week.
brilliant. Yeah, that's great. And listen, go and check out Slade on stage. You won't regret it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'll check that out tomorrow. I have a bit of a drive
And
tomorrow. So
the crowd, they're a bit of a lads band, and you can tell by the audience.
Great stuff. Looking
But
forward to sticking it on.
Noddy Holder's voice, oh, it's great. And you know the big hits like is Come On Feel the Noise on it. I know Goodbye to Jane is on it. Let me have a quick look here. Yeah, Mama, We're All Crazy Now
That's a
and
great one.
Goodbye to Jane. They played them about twice the speed. I mean, they
Yeah,
fly through them.
very
And
good.
definitely look.
Dave Hill looks ridiculous, but what a guitar player. I
Yeah,
mean, the
yeah,
fringes.
yeah,
Anyway, thanks for having me again, lads. Always great, always a pleasure. And I hope our compatriot gets better soon.
yeah. Hopefully Eric will be back fighting next
I
week.
mean, it would have been three Pink Floyd live albums and probably a Dave Gilmour live album.
There's plenty of Pink Floyd brilliant albums with terrible covers anyway, that's for sure. Okay, no bother. Thanks
Right.
guys, and
See
I
you
will talk
later
to you next
on.
week. All the best.
Bye bye.
Bye.